What's up guys, welcome back to Let's Play Doom Complete Classic. So I had a little bit of a setback and I actually I had to re-record the entire footage for The Shores of Hell, which means that unfortunately for this one I'm actually missing the first two missions. So we're actually on the third mission of this episode. We're on Refinery. We just missed the previous one, which is incredibly long and labyrinthian and would have been fun to show off in a unique way. But it was honestly a nightmare to do, so I'm kind of grateful that I missed out on it, and that was Containment Area. Man, that level is a pain in the ass. So you're short on ammo, you're short on a lot of resources here. Anyway, moving on to Refinery, this is actually a really great level. This level uses one of my favorite tracks in the game, which is actually the transition music when you're transitioning from one level to the next. But you get to hear it in its full glory now. We're introducing a new enemy type here in the Shores of Hell. This is a Cacodemon, and they are quite plentiful. They're actually pretty tough and deal a lot of damage, but they have an attack that's pretty much the same as the Imp's Fireball. It just deals a lot more damage, and they have a different rate at which they cast it at. But they float around. There's basically no limitations to where they can go. They're big targets. They're easy to hit. But like I said, they deal a lot of damage, and dodging them is just as easy as dodging an imp, so shouldn't have too much trouble with them, but they can be bullet sponges at times, so I definitely want to make sure I have enough ammo to take them on. The shotgun's a good way to go, unless they're at long range, and then the chain gun. I'm looking for... I can't remember what I'm looking for in this area. I picked up the Berserk power-up earlier there, which brought me up to 100 health, which is nice. But I haven't really got a chance to use it yet. I used the plasma gun briefly in that room there where we first encountered the Cacodemon, and that was nice. This area right here has a little pool of acid kind of thing that goes across it, and there's several different accesses to that area. If I didn't say so before, I did say so at the end of the last video, the invisibility power-up. I guess I didn't explain enough of what it does. It basically just, well, obviously makes you invisible. It makes it harder for enemies to detect you. It's not foolproof, and it will wear off, but it is kind of nice. So, you will quickly find out that on this difficulty, which, if I didn't say so before, is the second hardest difficulty in the game, this game has no chill when it comes to the Baron of Hell. Like, he's going to be showing up quite a bit. So, we have another one we're going to fight here. I'm going to go ahead and use my rockets, what little I had left at the end of Need Even the Dead. Actually, my rockets don't carry over. I'm dumb. Yeah, you start out with new ammo and everything whenever you start out with a completely blank slate whenever you transition from one episode to the next, because this game is non-linear. You can select whatever episode you want at the beginning. So, you'll see that whenever we get to Inferno. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to demonstrate those previous two missions in this episode, just because I don't feel like going back and re-recording it. So we found the blue key. That's going to allow us to access that door right there at the beginning that we passed by twice in this little corridor. Some more enemies spawned in over here, so I'm going to try to clear them out before I get stuck. Because if an enemy walks in front of us while we're trying to get over that, it's going to be bad news. But yeah, I used a lot of the ammo for the plasma gun, though, but the plasma gun is very powerful. And you can actually, just using short controlled bursts, take out a lot of very powerful enemies that way. But if you have a lot of ammo for it, especially if you've acquired a backpack and you have increased capacity, you can just steamroll through like big hordes of enemies. And it really is a good way, especially in Doom 2 as well, to clear out very large encounters. And there will be some enemies in Doom 2 that are pretty much designed specifically to be used the plasma gun against. But yeah, we're pretty low on ammo for it right now. I actually have 77 cells. That's a fair bit amount. But yeah, I just wanted to use it there to clear out that room, and we're going to be using it very sparingly from here on out until I can accumulate some more cells. But basically I would save that and the rockets for the Baron of Hell or any other really tough enemy like that. Some of the toughest enemies are not going to be introduced until Doom 2, though. I try to make a bigger range of targets we have to fight. But there's still a few enemies we've not encountered yet, so there's always room for more. So far, I've been having really good luck with those pools of acid, not taking a whole lot of damage. As you can see, I think if you aggro an enemy while you're invisible, it's going to know where you are regardless. So that Cacodemon and these other enemies have seen us already, and I've done damage to them, so they know where I am. I guess it's just a way of being able to sneak past enemies unseen. But like I said, even that's not foolproof. Alright, so that's a really fun rather short. There's a Spectre Pinky in here for some reason. It seems to be also in higher difficulties. The enemies that tend to spawn exclusively on higher difficulties tend to be enemies in the exit room, and it's really bad about that. So we finished Refinery. It's a fun, short level. I really do like that level a lot. And now we're moving on to the Diemos Slabs, which are a famous level from Doom, where it actually really amps up the survival horror aspect, which is something that's very underutilized in Doom until we get to Doom 3. I feel like this level was a big inspiration for Doom 3 in a lot of ways, and even Doom 4 to a lesser extent. But yeah, this level has creepy atmosphere and creepy music, and actually, as much as I do gripe about this particular version of the game and its soundtrack with the audio compression, this is the same soundtrack as we have on the Xbox Live version as well. It's not nearly as good as the original compression, which is what you get on the original Xbox version that came with Doom 3 and Doom 3 Resurrection of Evil. I'm going to come up here really quick and get the map for this area, as well as there's some more health and armor up here. Definitely want to get that armor, because that'll bring us up to 100 armor. But I had some really bad luck here and got stuck with all these lost souls over here, so I took a bit of damage. But I'm going to want to come back up and get that health now that I've taken some significant damage here. See, that's how quickly a situation can go from good to bad on this difficulty. Is just, you know, one moment I'm fine, the next I'm at half health. So you really got to watch yourself there and decide if going into certain areas is even worth it because of the enemies you're going to have to fight there. And in this case, it really wasn't worth it, but I actually do want to go back up there and get that health, because there's also some shells up there, and I definitely want to have some more shotgun shells, even at the cost of using my plasma gun a little bit here. I'm not going to need the cells right now as much as I'm going to need the shotgun shells to clear out the chaff in this level and some of the weaker enemies. That's more important for now. So, alright, we're back at 100 health, and we got a decent amount of shotgun shells now. But anyway, the Diemos Slabs, they're referenced several times. It's actually the place that was described to, or Diemos Slabs, I guess you could say. They were described to me in the transition there from at the end of Knee Deep in the Dead to the Shores of Hell. It's the place that was described to us, so it's basically fallen into hell itself, the labs have, and so it's become enhanced with, you know, hell-like features, even though it is a UAC facility. So you're going to see a lot of technology. It's going to be very sci-fi looking, but you're going to see a lot of demonic and satanic stuff as well, including those weird eyes up there. Nobody can really explain what those eyes are. They're just kind of there for aesthetic, but they definitely distract you and make you think it's something important. This entire encounter we're in right now is basically a trap, and this game is infamous for those types of encounters, where you walk into an area and you just get stuck in the area. Like, maybe there's a reward down there that's worth it, maybe there's not. There's really nothing down here that I needed aside from more ammo and more armor. You could skip this area altogether, really. It doesn't unlock a key or anything like that. But I just wanted to show that off and get whatever I could that was down there. Fight some more enemies, it's fun. I really like the blue on the blue circuits on the walls here in this corridor. I really like the way it looks. But yeah, as soon as you walk down there, the wall behind you, or the stairs behind you, retract, and it becomes just a wall, and you can't get back up there until you push the switch. And obviously you're going to have a hard time getting to the switch until you defeat the enemies. So we've actually made quite a bit of progress in this level already. This is a very big level as well, but not nearly as bad as the containment area. It's mainly, it's pretty confusing, but the worst parts of it are not until the end, but we'll be fine. I need to find the blue key in order to get through that door. That's where we have to progress from here. One thing that I will say this map was well designed with is the fact that they give you the complete map early on, so you can actually see where you're going and where you've been right away, and you don't have to worry about just wandering around aimlessly until you discover the next thing, which again is a gripe that I have with like Wolfenstein 3D, for instance, where they had no map feature, and that was really a great innovation moving on to Doom. Is that not only would there's obviously another bear in here, but I managed to take him out pretty nicely without taking a hit. But yeah, obviously Doom has more more defined geography of the map, and more unique landmarks and that kind of thing. I guess I can't get through that weird Baron skull thing there. I think in this, I may be thinking of the first mission in the Shores of Hell, but I'm pretty sure these red walls here can hurt us. Either way, I'm not going to take any chances. Sure enough, behind the Baron was the blue key, so I've got another one to fight over here. Like I said, this game has... Yeah, the walls don't hurt us. We're fine. This game has no chill when it comes to the Barons on Ultraviolence and Nightmare. I can't even begin to imagine what it would be like on Nightmare. Alright, so we're out of rockets, and we're almost out of shells, too. So or not shells, cells. So we want to be careful. When we pick up the item in the center here, this thing will become an instant crusher, which is fine. And now that I have the yellow key, I can continue on and not have my eyes seared anymore by that room. I'm having some awful like voice cracking lately with these commentaries. I'm trying to fix it, but you know, what can you do? Alright, so this room screwed me over quite a few times playing this. The center obviously is just some power-ups, and one of these rooms leads closer to the exit, but it's not the actual exit of the level as the type of door would indicate. Obviously different doors have a different look to them, and these kind of doors have the same look as what the entrance of the level looks like, and also the exit depending on the level. But we have to go through all of them basically. These two had a Cacodemon behind each one, and I can get over here. Get that rocket. I think there might be another way to continue on from there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. There we go. There's a little graphical, almost like a glitch on that lip there from that platform that we just came up from as soon as we opened that wall. Alright, so of all the random places, the one on the far right over here is the one that actually allows us to progress. I'm gonna save really quick because I'm gonna have to do another jump, so to speak, and get across this acid here. I'm probably going to complain about this again later, but I really don't like how long it takes to save in this version. I'm sure most people complain about that. Okay, so I guess I'm going to have to blow up these barrels in order to get that blue armor there. So I'm going to do some risky strats and just run over there. Now I have... It's mega armor, so I have 200 armor. Huh, okay. I guess this is not the right way after all. Well, then how the hell do we progress? Oh, I see. No big deal. Yeah, that room is basically just nothing but power-ups. There's a little secret down there within their plasma gun. These enemies are unaware of us when we first teleport in, but obviously we're going to change that. So, there's going to be some more Barons coming up soon, and thankfully I have some more plasma cells, but not a whole lot. This area right here is, we're getting towards the end of the mission now, but this is going to be sort of a spiral staircase of death surrounding a even bigger death trap at the bottom that has the Barons at it. So, yeah, not looking forward to this. Ammo conservation is just so tight on this difficulty, especially because the quantity of enemies just makes it so much harder to maintain your ammo. Doom 2, on the other hand, Doom 2 just has no chill regardless of how many enemies are in each encounter. I really like that graphical effect there with the faces on the wall. That really did kind of creep me out the first time I played this game. Look at it, it's hideous. But, yeah, as I said, this level overall has some of the best horror qualities to it, I feel like. The exit to this level is pretty tricky because we can actually teleport back into the room we just came out of with the Barons in it, which I'm unfortunately doing now. I'm getting trapped here by imps, but we can back out into it and come back in the same room. And luckily I went that way and triggered the switch that raises the platform. But that's a pretty tricky exit. It's pretty difficult to figure that out the first time through. I'm being very careful right here to not to get killed by these imps on the way out. So that's it for the Diemos Slabs. Not bad.